that you have gone away.
Well, why'd you ask if he was having money problems?
I'm just trying to find my way.
Does that make you nervous?
You're an escaped convict, trained by mob accountants. Your clients are drug cartels, money launderers.
Is that a yes?
Ray King has been murdered. Do you like puzzles, Mr. Wolf?
Ben, I want to start with you because there's already been a lot of conversations about how great your dynamic is with Jon. And I think a lot of times we talk about like chemistry between romantic leads, but I think the chemistry you two have is exceptional. Is it easier, harder, different to get that chemistry when you're supposed to have a brother relationship versus something romantic?
I think it's equally difficult and equally hard to fake. You can have two actors that really like one another. You can even have two actors who are like sleeping together, and it can be, the chemistry can be not evident in the screen, and the actor's fondness for one another cannot be evident on the screen. It's like a weird thing that happens with people that you know well or have certain relationships with them. There's a kind of intimacy and familiarity, and things kind of come out in ways that we're not even conscious of, I think. The truth is, you kind of have to, you can do your best and try to fake it, but if you get lucky and it's real, there's no replacing that. And that was the case in this movie. I haven't had very many experiences where that's one of the main things people talk about to me, and they have with this, and it really mirrors what Gavin kind of told me he was seeing early on and what I was experiencing. So it's really fun to get this movie out and to share it with people.
Gavin, for you, when it comes to the more action sequences that we get to see in this film, I think sometimes you get like action and thrill for the sake of just being action and thrill, which is great sometimes. But I think for this movie, you really understood the like emotional connection that these two have and kind of like the emotional power behind why things are happening and how they're feeling. Is that something you thought about in terms of how you wanted to craft those moments?
I'm always trying to come from character. So, Ben and I were tracking Chris's, what I'd say, Chris's soul from when he sees Alberto in that photograph, and he recognizes something that maybe most people wouldn't recognize. And that's what's driving, that's sort of the plot engine in the movie is Chris trying to figure out the puzzle of the movie, but really it's about identifying and trying to find this little boy that he is a sort of a mirror that's reflecting back on him. What's great about Ben and Jon as well is we're always coming from character. Like it's not just about disposable violence and just to shoot him up and just make it look cool, and like it's always tracking sort of the weight of what the scene is vis-a-vis the character. So that's really, so inside of the ballet of choreography, it was really tracking the emotional line between Chris and Brax. And it was very intentional going into Juarez. We have that moment that, you can rewind it going, okay, so you go to the dance scene, and that dance scene, we literally just leave the plot of the movie, and it's just about the two of them uniting and Chris having a moment of connection. And then they have conflict again, and then we start to unite them again. And then Chris says, I'm sorry, which is, in family, sometimes you could have an absence of love and all you need is an I'm sorry. And everything is better. I mean, I go through my wife all the time, like you could be, but just an I'm sorry. So, and we really had to have that moment. And what I love about that is they're loading up with bullets and guns and ammo, but there's a tender moment of I'm sorry. And then here we go into Juarez. And then really it was about tracking the two of them, tracking how they're going to work together. And that's what Ben and Jon and I were always, huddling up about, is how do they work together inside of and trying to accomplish their want inside of the set pieces.